and welcome to Bad Movie Beatdown! Now before we get into the first review of the new series, I'll give you the lowdown. The Bad Movie Beatdown is for everyone who went to see a shitty movie in the cinema or polluted their video player with crap from the rental shop. Here is where I lay some of my good friend Pain onto fully deserving pieces of celluloid tact. Now you must be wondering, isn't this a bit nostalgic-like? Well, right you are, but no one in their right mind would consider any of these pieces of celluloid feces to be nostalgic. And as you know from my 5-second movies, I've got my own demented style of humour at work, so things will be a little bit different. Right, now I have my mission statement out of the way, let's hear it for the first film that I'm going to be reviewing. Drum roll, please. Pluto Nash! Yes, Pluto Nash. Hollywood movie making at its absolute worst. Money thrown for the sake of money, thrown for the sake of money, all to hide a poor script. But first, a little history lesson. In the late 1980s, Eddie Murphy was riding on top of the world, his foul-mouthed humour quickly making him America's biggest comedian. Since then, Murphy's career has been like riding a roller coaster. After the peak of the 1980s, we have the shite of the early 90s, before riding fame back up again in the second half of the decade. But then, Murphy's career reached the millennium and a second round of awfulness hits us. It's exactly at this point we find Pluto Nash, a script bandied about for 20 years until Murphy finally stepped on. They've had 20 years to perfect this script apparently, so it must be good, right? Wrong! The gags here are so painful, they're like getting punched in the face!
Pop that little bitch in the particle wave for 2 minutes under the floor, she'd be running all around the room.
You see? The movie starts with some nice special effects shots of life on the moon. And you know what? These effects are pretty good. But they're not really funny, are they? Ooh, prepare for lunar gravity. That's hilarious! That's really not. There's a complex mathematical equation when it comes to comedy. Take it away, Professor Celluloid.
Thank you, Matthew. Then, through my intense and rigorous mathematical experimentation, I have been able to determine that a film's comedic value is inversely proportional to the film's budget. This is why films like The 40-Year-Old Virgin is much funnier than films like Evan Almighty, which is Scheiße! Anyway, back to you, Matthew.
Thank you, Celluloid. Back to the film, and we meet a bar owned by Tony Frankowski. His act consists of Scottish crooning?
They're moving father's grave to build a sewer.
Of course, because when I think of the name Frankowski, I totally think of Scotland. In the bar, we also meet Pluto, and you've got to love Eddie Murphy's expression here. It's like he walked on set that day and realised what shit he's in. I'd like to say that the place that Tony runs is a complete crap hole. Where the f*** is health and safety on the moon? My OCD is just acting up watching this. Soon enough, Paulie from Rocky turns up, and he wants his money back. He does this by threatening to pour battery acid down Tony's throat. Because that's what comedy needs nowadays. Torture! Lucky for Tony, Pluto manages to walk in and sweet-talk the gangsters out of giving Tony some acid mouthwash, and the gangsters give Pluto control of Tony's bar. Shame. I wanted Tony to get what was coming to him. Cut to 7 years later, where Pluto has now turned the bar into a new nightclub, imaginatively titled Club Pluto. Look, Ma, I'm dancing! It's here we meet the love interest Rosario Dawson. She's come to see Pluto because her plot device, moon card, has expired.
I just came all the way up here from Salt Lake City.
Rough town.
I'm sorry, was that meant to be a joke? Here's all the effort I had to put in to understand that gag.
Excellent. Cheers. See you later.
I need to use your computer. Okay. Oh, that was what the joke was about. It wasn't that funny. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, man. That wasn't worth it. Oh, but looky here. There's evil afoot. Yes, two not at all shifty-looking gentlemen are just walking into Pluto's club and are offering to buy it.
This is non-negotiable. Rex Crater is buying your club.
Wait, hold on a second. Rex Crater? This wouldn't be a play of Rex Kramer from Airplane, would it? Wow, I would have never believed this script was 20 years old. Oh, and guess who else we're introduced to in this scene? Bruno, Pluto's robotic bodyguard, played by Randy Quaid. He's exactly like the normal Randy Quaid, except he has a synthesized voice,
Your sister didn't seem to mind.
a greater libido,
Miss me? Guess not.
and is 100 times more annoying. And since Randy Quaid is already pretty annoying as it is, that takes some beating. Pluto rejects their offer. How surprising. So the gangsters decide to blow up his bar. Wait, what? Weren't they trying to buy that property a second ago? Then why the fuck are they blowing it up? I mean, surely there are easier ways of killing people than destroying the property you were trying to purchase. Like, I don't know, shooting them? Yes, thank you. Oh yeah, don't take another shot, numbnut. Just run away and oh yeah, drop your gun. Brilliant. After a boring chase, Pluto manages to follow the hapless goon into an obvious trap. So Pluto decides to use the goon as a human shield.
Alright, you wanna play games? You wanna play games? Then listen, you have to shoot around your boy! It's easier to shoot through him.
How convenient! In the future, there's no exit wounds. That's a good thing for Pluto. Wait, where the hell did those guys come from? Were they there a second ago? Then why didn't they shoot Pluto in the back while he had the guy in front of him? This movie is so stupid! These actors are so poorly planned out! Ah! And I'm loving the music in this action scene as well. It sounds like someone is strangling an electric guitar. Actually, come to think of it, I've seen that sort of playing before.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet. But your kids are gonna love it.
Anyway, love interest, name's not that important, I've already forgotten it, runs into the room and can't be able to fire her own gun. Oh, you know, like that bit in True Lies? Thankfully, Bruno comes along and solves everything using his two guns. In fact, he seems to do that a lot during this movie. Is this poor writing, of course? Oh, can't find a way to finish an action scene. Let's just shoot the shit out of everything! Boom, boom, boom. The group decides to lie low and hide in a hotel. What room?
3D.
Pluto turns to Officer Exposition, who informs him of a nasty rumour that Rex might, in fact, be a clone.
Some people think he's a clone. There's a clone doctor named Runa Pedankin. Made a big name for herself creating an entire basketball team from one old guy. The Air Jordans.
Oh, come on! I couldn't write better gags than this! I can't think of any right now, but I'm sure I can. Pluto and Dina visit a former cloner in a funny but completely pointless bit. The cloner tells them that there is this mysterious gentleman with a briefcase that had the letters WCW on it.
He left his briefcase behind. The initials WZW were embossed on it, in gold.
Yes, that's right, a briefcase with the initials WCW on it. I've got that briefcase here. Oh, okay. Let's see what's in this thing. Ah yes, Vincent Vega's soul. A copy of Coming to America. Undies. A hat. And yeah, I better not open that again. The couple return to find Grier inside.
Ma, this is Dina. Dina, this is my mother.
You're his mother?
Whoa, 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 whoa. She's his mother? I'm having a hard time that Eddie Murphy came out as anywhere as cool as Grier's womb. Anyway, another rubbish action scene ensues, and the gang have to escape.
Freeze! Raise your hands.
You're robots! Shoot on sight! For Pete's sake. Anyway, Bruno does his two guns thing, Pluto's mum gets carted off wherever she needs to go, and they go to another hiding place. But first, they need a car.
Good evening, Mr. Vanderford. James here. Aren't you early, sir?
Oh, come on, John! What are you doing? What are you doing here?
We're surprising Mrs. Vandervoort with some jam and scones and picking her up at a spa on the far side. Carry on, James.
You know I will die a happy, happy man if I never, ever hear Eddie Murphy put on an English accent ever again. They go to Pluto's hidden moon base, and Dina bounces around just to remind us that we're still on the moon. There, they meet a French maid. I'm sorry, French robotic maid.
Bonjour, vous allez bien? Oops.
Gee, what an obnoxious stereotype.
Bonjour, vous allez bien? Oops.
A gag so nice they did it twice. They're really mining the comedy gold here. Pluto tries to figure out who WCW is.
Well, here's your problem right here. Zimmer said WZW, not MZM.
I know that. You're just looking at it upside down.
Wait a minute. Hey! Hey, you did it! Look at you!
Oh, I forgot you could turn the paper upside down. Anyway, MZM turns out to be a mysteriously missing gangster, played by Alec Baldwin?
For the what, do what to the what? Speak English, sweetheart.
I guess Alec Baldwin must be pleased that he doesn't have a credit on this pile of crap. Pluto tells his discovery to Officer Exposition, who goes to the FBI. Bummer. Soon after, some goons attack Pluto's base.
Registered to Lunar Grand Hotel.
Isn't it nice of the gangsters to not only use a car that can be easily identified, but easily tracked back to them as well? Isn't that convenient? And unbelievably stupid! So the gang make their escape, and Bruno does the two guns thing again.
How did they find us?
Obviously, you did something stupid.
Truer words have never been spoken. A car chase ensues, and Pluto has only one method of escape he can think of.
Hey, Bruno, you see that reel right there?
Mr. Pluto, no rills. Please.
It's got clear approach and a perfect lift. 3, 2, 1, go!
I like the way the car drifted back to the surface as if there's full gravity on the moon. You know, because when you're on the moon, if you tried to pull something like that, you'd go flying off into the sky and then keep flying off and you'd be screaming and be helpless and screaming and screaming and... Sorry, I got distracted there for a minute. The car blows up, you know, because the plot says so, and Dina, Bruno and Pluto end up being stranded on the moon's surface, slowly running out of air and dying. The end. Phew, at least that movie's over. I mean, it can't get any worse than that. Oh no, it's still going. I'm sorry, was that hover car playing music? There is no sound in space! To the kind stranger picks up Pluto and the rest of them, and luckily turns out to have an admiration for Pluto.
Pluto Nash?
Yeah.
The Pluto Nash?
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. I'm your #1 fan. You're the reason I got into the smuggling business. Honey, let me tell you something. This man right here, he is the Tito Puente of real hoppy. Right here. Right here, right here. This is the guy.
That sound you're hearing is the sound of Tito Puente rolling in his grave. Pluto and the rest of them finally make it to the Luna Grand Hotel. Bruno gets arrested because the plot says so, and Dina and Pluto have to visit an old friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed master of the universe, Mr. Tony Francis!
It's Tony Francis. After adding to the running time by pointlessly singing songs, Pluto finally meets up with Tony to discuss how to meet up with Rex.
I want you to meet my wives. This is Gina and Philomena.
A pleasure to meet you, Pluto and Dina.
So, Trip, you married twins, huh?
No, they're not twins. I met the perfect woman and then I had a clone.
Which one's which?
Who cares?
Oh my god, sexism is hilarious. Tony manages to show Pluto a completely unbelievable plan.
All right, look, that's Rex's elevator down there, see?
So how I get from one elevator to the other?
You're gonna back up as far as you can go. You get a good running start, you jump out across.
Jump across to what?
Look, you grab onto these wires and you swing down on the wires onto the ledge.
You want me to grab hot wires?
How do you know they're hot?
Look at the shit is hot, Tony.
Don't grab that one. Grab the ones that aren't hot. You swing down, right? You get down to the ledge. Once you're down there, you're gonna wait for like an hour and a half, right? That's when they bring Rex's late supper up to him. When the elevator goes by, right before it passes you, you jump on top. Here. Use this casino chip to unscrew the trapdoor on top of the elevator, right? You jump down inside. There will be 2 robot guards inside. You take them out. Pop, pop, boom. You're alone in the elevator. You got a meeting with Rex Grant.
And what's more, you get to do this while wearing a chicken suit. Pluto decides he doesn't want in on this act of total insanity, so he decides to go outside the lift. And guess what? Rex's goons are waiting for him. Which makes this bit entirely pointless. Well, I suppose when you have Jay Mohr in your movie, you really want more Jay Mohr for your buck. This movie is really pushing my patience. Meanwhile, to cut a long story short, Dina and Bruno get captured. Well, thanks for helping! Finally, Pluto finds himself into Rex's pad. And are we going to find out who Rex is?
Or is it Mike Marucci? Yeah, Mike Marucci. Thought you were so damn smart, I figured you out. Should come over there and put my foot in your fat greaseball ass.
No.
So you got it all figured out, huh?
Bullshit! The bad guy is a clone of Pluto? Oh my god, this movie is so stupid! Oh look, they're even wearing the same suit! Gee, I wonder where this might be heading! But before we even get to that part, we have to listen to the movie's stupid explanation for this whole idiotic twist.
Hey man, what's going on here?
Remember when they cut your appendix out 8 years ago in prison?
Yeah.
Good! Because I sure don't!
Gambling had just been outlawed on Earth, so my old boss, Mike Marucci, commissioned Dr. Runa Padankin to create a clone of someone who knew the way around the moon. Marucci was starting a gambling operation up here. He needed someone to front for him. Someone intelligent that he could control. A puppet.
Yeah, and being a puppet didn't really jibe with my career plan, so I decided to send Mr. Marucci and Dr. Patankin into orbit. And for sentimental reasons, or maybe it's because I'm such a nice guy, I let you live.
Because he's such a nice guy? What sort of reason is that? How do they expect the audience to accept this ridiculous plot twist when they can't even come up with a logical explanation for it in the first place? The inept goons then bring in Dana and Bruno and soon get killed off because the plot requires them to.
But it's something I want you to see before I say bye-bye to you. Look at that. You had an excellent piece of real estate, but you never took advantage of its full potential.
Prime real estate before you blew it up! Remember? Eventually, the fight scene between Pluto and his clone happens, and they've ineptly shot it so you can't see their faces to skimp on the CGI budget. Yeah, top-notch stuff there. Now you know how this is going to go, right? They get confused, they're not sure which one is which, they're both wearing the same costumes, so they decide to randomly shoot one and we're led to believe that the good one died.
Hey, what the hell are you waiting for? Shoot him! What are you aiming at me for? It's me! I'm me! He's Nash! Shoot him! No, he's not me! I'm me! He's him! Now shoot him! Shoot him!
Boss! Which one's you?
Pluto? This piece of shit belongs to him! Alright! Now shoot him! No, shoot!
And then all the sad music played because Pluto's dead. Boo frigging who?
Pluto.
I didn't scare you, did I? Huh?
Boss!
Hey.
I was hoping it was you. Never leave home without an undershirt, right, boss?
Oh no, not this lazy cliche.
Isn't that what you always say?
Twice in the same minute! This is such lazy writing! Fight starts up yet again, but eventually it comes to a very quick end once Rex gets thrown out of a window. Hooray! This means the movie's over, right? Oh great, we got an epilogue. Okay, Pluto has rebuilt his bar, Dina's become a singer, and Bruno, well, Bruno...
How's it going with you and Babette?
Me and Babette? I don't think that's gonna happen. I found out that I'm 110 volts and she's a 220.
Just go to the hardware store and get an adapter.
Nah, that just ruins it for me.
Oh, that Randy. It's a condom joke. This movie is a waste of time, money and effort. It has big special effects and big name stars, but it can't compensate for stupid, incompetent scripting and piss poor jokes. If you have the chance to avoid this movie, I suggest you do so. Even Eddie Murphy hates the crap out of this film. Still, at least he learned something out of this, right? Or maybe not. Well, that's all we got time for this week. I'm Film Brain, aka Matthew Buck. Good night. Or day. Or whatever this is.